America, it's time for a gut check. If the founding fathers saw us huddled in our little cocoons, texting each other smiley faces, they'd hang their powdered wigs in shame. When our idea of danger is eating gluten, there's trouble afoot. Yes, we the people have gotten soft, and all the likes in the world aren't going to save us now. But one thing will. Welcome to the place where we speed all day, where we bump and grind in a non-sexual way, where scores are settled and we break the rules, and everybody's got a set of badass tools. Get some NASCAR in your life. Hello, glory, goodbye, sight. Welcome to the place that we call home, where meats are grilled and you can bring your own, where everyone's welcome and we all belong, even my friend in his American flag thong. Get some NASCAR in your life. Hug your kids and kiss your wife. You want Billy and Sally to learn about math and science? Send them to the school of NASCAR. They'll thank you for it. Sure, everybody in NASCAR gets a trophy as long as they win the race. Did you know that less than 10 miles from Sonoma Raceway you can go wine tasting?
It's time for Fully Threaded Radio.
It is Fully Threaded Radio, voice of the FCH Sourcing Network. This is the online, on-demand talk radio show where we feature predominantly fastener-related topics, guests, news, and other miscellany. So, if that's your bailiwick, we're glad to have you along. Hey everybody, Eric Dudas here, and the co-host of Fully Threaded Radio is here with me as always. Seated at the cockpit and the controls of the high-octane scrubber software device of his own design, he's Brian Musker. How you doing, Brian?
Doing pretty good. Actually, I'm just monitoring people who are using it at this very moment, as we speak, even.
Yes, not hard to believe. You do a lot of that sort of thing, and forgive the reference to high octane and so forth, but at the top of the show we played a little, I forget the guy's name, I think it's Offerman, the comedian who plays Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation, but he did this hilarious commercial at the end of the Super Bowl, and I just couldn't resist putting it on the beginning of the show because it's just the kind of thing that Fully Threaded Radio is hopefully to the fastener industry, NASCAR is to NBC.
Yeah, this is the predominant part where it comes in, okay?
Yes.
Right, I was watching some of those too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it was pretty good this year, I'd have to say. Hey, everybody, this is episode 90 of Fully Threaded Radio, and we're publishing on February 12th, 2015. We've got an outstanding show for you today, I believe. We're going to speak with Aaron Shushan of Specialty Sales and Ryan Kertis of Stelfast. They'll both be joining us for a discussion about a new organization in the fastener industry, and that is Young Fastener Professionals. If you haven't heard of it, well, you'll get up to speed, and if you're a little confused about what they're aiming to do, they'll fill you in on that as well.
All right.
As usual, Fastener Technology International editor Mike McNulty will be here with the Fastener News Report. He's got some headlines for us, and Tiffany will join him. They'll kick around the FDI for us. And we'll do something a little out of the ordinary. We're going to do our first segment, and riding shotgun with us for the whole first segment will be from Branam Fasteners, Mr. Kurt Triptow.
Well, he's not actually riding shotgun. We don't really need that much protection, okay?
It's an old stagecoach term, right?
Right. We used to, but now we can show our faces in public without someone brandishing a gun, okay?
Yes. Well, I think listeners know. They like us well enough, they're not going to shoot us. As do our sponsors. And the title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Stelfast, for service you deserve and people you trust, it's Stelfast. And Trinity Hardware Headquarters, Trinity, for parts done right. And our newest title sponsor, Lindstrom Metric and the Lindstrom family of companies, including Titan Fastener products. Lindstrom, by any measure. Fully Threaded Radio is also sponsored by Buckeye Fasteners, InSequel Software, Fastenal, Andy Industries, Volt Industrial Plastics, and Solution Industries, home of Solution Man. I've got another announcement to make, Brian. We alluded to this during the previous episode. We're very glad to announce the newest member of the Fully Threaded team, and that would be the Worth Group.
Yes, that's right.
We have a very...
long time in the making. We've been associated with various parts of them for a fair while.
That's right. It's good to tie that whole program together and put it into some kind of sense, and we're going to do that over the coming months. That's a lot to juggle, but I think we're up to it. We've got a very interesting program running with Worth, Bri, that involves our scrubber software and a large data cleansing project, too.
Right. Use of it, which is actually taking place as we are recording this.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to discuss that with someone from Worth on an upcoming episode, because it is an interesting project, and of course their support for Fully Threaded is very much appreciated.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're firing on all cylinders today, folks, so we'll come out of the turn and move into the first straightaway at top speed right after this. When top quality and outstanding service are at the top of your list in fastener suppliers, turn to Stelfast. Since 1976, Stelfast has grown to become an industry-leading importer and manufacturer of the highest quality industrial fasteners, specialty items, and automotive parts. Our array of facilities across North America and in Asia, along with full quality control labs and ISO 9001-2008 certifications, ensure the highest quality parts, and at Stelfast, they're delivered with undisputed service excellence. We're family-run and dedicated to your success. Our customers have come to depend on the expertise of our staff and the quality of our products. We also offer a wide range of secondary services to meet some of the toughest requirements you might have. Contact Stelfast today through our website at www.stelfast.com and put us to work for you. Stelfast. Service you deserve, people you trust.
Where do you go when you need fasteners fast, or a unique part that you can't live without? 3 words: Trinity Hardware Headquarters. You can easily find whatever you're looking for with our convenient online catalog that features over 30,000 different types of fasteners available in packaged quantities, product kits, and assortments. And now you can order over 2,000 of the most popular line items online 24/7, 365. Whether you're looking for standard inch and metric sizes or one of those hard-to-find parts, it's not hard to find at TrinityHardwareHQ.com. With over 400,000 square feet of warehouse space in locations throughout the Midwest and South, filled with over 18 million pounds of fasteners, Trinity Hardware Headquarters has exactly what you need. When you can't afford downtime, let Trinity Hardware Headquarters hold it together with the fasteners you need. Visit our website at www.trinityhardwarehq.com or call us at 888-232-1010. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
You probably know that Lindstrom is an industry leader in metric fasteners. And there's a good chance you know we recently expanded to provide a wide range of high-grade inch fasteners. But what you probably don't know is that Lindstrom has made a serious commitment to earn your socket business. How serious? Well, let's start with 11,000 products. Announcing Lindstrom's expanded line of socket products, including socket head cap screws, flat head socket cap screws, button head socket cap screws, socket shoulder screws, and more. Plain, plated, or patched, in a full range of inch and metric sizes. Special lengths and thread pitches available through in-house fabrication. Always packed to your specification. Lindstrom. Flexibility, choice, and value at every turn. Here for everything distributors need. To learn more about Lindstrom and our expanded line of socket products, visit LindstromSockets.com. Lindstrom, by any measure. To speak with a sales representative, call 1-800-328-2430.
Harry, how's your search for new software going? We've looked at a lot of systems, some with the same old technology, and others didn't seem like they knew much about what we did or needed. We did look at one company, crazy name though, I think it was InSqueakWell.
You mean INXSQL? That's InSQL. That's what we use. We've become much more efficient, and we've been able to offer our customers more services, which makes us more competitive.
Yeah, Inkswell, that's the one. They seem to be the only company that really understood what fastener distributors do for a living, and I found it easy to use.
Harry, it's InSQL, INXSQL. You don't pronounce the X. We buy a lot from several master distributors, and their direct connect simplifies the whole process. When we need pricing and availability quickly, we just hit the F12 key.
If you don't pronounce the X, why put it in there? A friend told me they get great support from NXQuell.
Yes, with InSQL, our experience has been the same. Quality support. They know our business. And the best part is, no extra charges. With our old system, apparently nothing we called about was covered by support.
You know, Inkwell seems to be the right company for us.
They're called InSQL, INXSQL. Go to their website, www.inxsql.com, or call them at 877-446-9775.
Since 1905, Buckeye Fasteners and the Ohio Nut and Bolt Company have been supplying the world with high-quality fasteners. Our standard product lines include weld fasteners, braided weld screws, leg levelers, self-clinching hardware, clevis pins, rivet nuts, and various other fastener lines, allowing us to support virtually all types of industries. We have complete custom manufacturing capabilities in low carbon, medium carbon, and stainless steel materials, and our quality systems are registered to ISO standards. Our on-staff engineering department can assist you with product development and provide total technical support. Our knowledgeable sales team members offer superior customer service and are here to answer any questions you may have regarding our products. Having a hard time finding a part? Let our sourcing specialists do the work for you to locate those items. We offer competitive pricing with typically smaller minimums and shorter lead times. To find out more about Buckeye Fasteners, please call us at 800-437-1689 or on the web at buckeyefasteners.com. Buckeye Fasteners, more than just weld.
Hi, this is Rich Cavoto of the Midwest Fastener Association. Don't forget to sign up for Fastener Tech 15, runs June 8th through the 10th in Rosemont, Illinois. For details, check out nwfa.net. And you're listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Brian and Eric back with you. Hoping for a little rapid climate change at this moment.
Well, you might be hoping for it. I'm actually expecting it, okay?
Yeah. Well, now that I'm located closer to the Cleveland area, I guess the weather pattern is that in the Chicago area, you guys have normally what we're going to experience about 12 to 36 hours ahead of us. So you're going to be my canary in the cavern. Hey, right, sitting in with us for this segment, everybody, from Branam Fasteners, we have Mr. Kurt Triptow. We've talked about having you for a long time to do something like this. Welcome, Kurt.
It's really good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good fun, okay?
That's the aim anyway.
Yeah, it should be, okay.
And I think Kurt can probably appreciate my comments at the top of the segment.
You betcha. It's chilly out there today, that's for sure.
Yes. Now, you're a fixture on the North Coast fastener scene, longtime FCH member, too. Appreciate that a lot. And what can we expect from our Fandango today? What do you have in mind for us?
Well, I plan to add some color commentary to whatever you folks are discussing today.
Which color? Okay, not too colored, okay, man. Yeah. It's the fastener industry, remember?
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah.
Zinc yellow, I'd say.
Okay, right.
Well, we'll take that. Sorry for putting you on the spot there, Kurt, but, you are the legendary Kurt Triptow. Hey, before we get too much farther, I'd like to give a big power thumbs up to Team InSQL, Bob Reynolds and the crew over there, Darren, Suzanne, and thanks for the hospitality week before last. We went out there to do some training, Bri.
Yes.
And we got definitely an eyeful of the InSQL interface, and particularly the new Direct Connect interface, which a lot of people are going to be hopping on board with, especially InSQL users.
Right.
They, of course, had the cover of Link magazine for the winter issue. and we've seen a definite uptick in interest in all things scrubber related.
Yeah, it was a good day actually. It was good for us. We added a little bit of extra visits onto it, but the day at NSQL was very, very useful. Just getting to know people and also, getting to see how we can work together better.
You had a chance to use the scrubber recently, Kurt, although it was not through the NSQL system, but I guess you did a huge upload and all that stuff went through the scrubber, and now it's on the FCH sourcing network.
That's correct. We just recently updated our inventory listing on the FCH site and made some changes, made some additions, added a lot of proprietary listings on there. So I was able to utilize the scrubber quite well, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I had to call you and find out what some of these things were, actually.
Yes, you did. That's good thing we've got that scrubber.
That's right. Well, this is how it learns, okay? I mean, something comes up that it doesn't recognize. I mean, that's really why it's not an automated procedure. I mean, after all these years, it could be automatic, but I choose not to because I like to just look through to see what is it not finding and why. And, I thought, oh, well, it's because someone, it's got the word bolt and nut together and doesn't know what it is. If someone says, it's a bolt with a nut on it, then it doesn't quite know how to categorize it. So I have to tighten it all up. So it's a work in progress. We discussed a lot of it with the SQL people too. And, one day probably it'll be finished, but who knows?
Yeah, I keep reading all these headlines in the news lately about artificial intelligence, and of course we talk a lot about Moore's Law, exponential development, and things like that, and without getting too much into that whole rabbit hole, it's hard to believe given everything that we've taught the scrubber, and then on the other hand, the state of things like Siri on the iPhone and all of these gaffes and the problems you have with something like Waze on your handheld GPS, that machines are going to take over the planet anytime soon. But now, having said that, it is a great tool, and still, if you have pretty much mainstay fastener inventory items and you put it through there, you're going to look at very high 90% success rates.
Right. But
yeah, my experience with the FCH site has been very good. I mean, when you're typing in a description or looking for a specific part number, it certainly takes you right where you need to be.
Well, that's what we're aiming for, that's for sure. Now, speaking of places you need to be, just out of curiosity, in your travels or with Branam, do you get out to the Detroit area much?
I get up there every so often, mostly because I've got family up in that area. But yeah, we've also got some suppliers up there that we deal with. So I'm up there several times a year, sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a whole lot of distributors up there, that's for sure, and we were able to see a really, really good solid lineup of them all across Michigan, actually. Once we got to the Detroit area, the kind of a big deal in the fastener industry, Jackie Ventura helped us out on the last day of our visits, and it's always great to have her help to get in those doors that possibly wouldn't be open to us otherwise. But, yeah, you kind of have to know your way around that area to do it effectively and, well, let's face it, safely.
Safely, yes. One time I was looking around thinking, I don't think I want to get out of the car here.
Well, there are some areas that are questionable. I guess it's like that in every city, but
that's true. I mean, but I particularly would have to not say a word. I mean, an accent like mine would be stand out a bit in some of these places. Not that I have a particular accent, but they're not used to Texan accent. That's why.
Well, we made it across the state. We got a lot accomplished. We learned a lot about NSQL. I think they learned a lot too. And again, appreciate everybody who opened their doors to us on that trip. And yeah, it was just great. I mean, we don't have the chance like a lot of you folks who are out there pounding the pavement every day to meet with actual fastener distributors and the like. That's why we get such great benefit out of participating in all of these association events and doing these occasional road trips. So this was a good one for us. And as if it wasn't obvious enough, we are the guys who bring you the FCH Sourcing Network. It's a huge online resource for you, well over 1 million line items, free to use if you're just searching and sourcing. Website, www.fastenersclearinghouse.com. Get out there. We'd love to see you. And we're constantly building it up On the other hand, if you want to move inventory, you can pick up the phone, call Kurt. You call us.
Well, you could. That's if you want to buy something, not if you want to sell something.
Yeah, I'd like to sell my inventory personally.
Right.
Well, everybody's welcome to get out there. And again, it's www.fastenersclearinghouse.com. You know, getting back to the Michigan trip again, it was very interesting to take anecdotal readings of how everybody's viewing 2015 so far. It's like there's a lot of, I guess, I don't know if it's cautious optimism or maybe mixed in with some cautious pessimism.
Well, it should be both, actually, because, you know, despite whatever is going in the U.S. economy, I mean, the U.S. needs the rest of the world because it needs to produce and sell stuff. And, you know, the rest of the world is a little bit shaky in parts, particularly Europe.
The key word that you mentioned there is cautious. I mean, no matter which way you slice it, I think people are not exactly going full tilt. I mean, everybody's a little bit cautious before they pull the trigger on anything.
Yeah, I mean, we don't quite know. I mean, if Europe blows up, just say it. I don't think it will, actually. You know, it's been there for a couple of thousand years or 4.5 million, but it's that affects everything here. I mean, we rely on trading partners in Europe.
Well, we'll be talking a lot more about the Fastener Distributor Index, the FDI, in an upcoming episode. As fully threaded listeners know, we've been reorganizing the FDI. It took a little bit of a hit when our previous analyst, Holden Lewis, split the scene. But with January, I expect everything to continue rolling along. Again, we've got the support and assistance of the NFDA. Paul Tiffany, president of the NFDA, will be joining Mike McNulty on the Fastener News Report with the January reading. But the overall, I mean, for the fourth quarter 2014, we had each month in that quarter well over the 50 baseline, which means expansion or optimism in the market. And, you know, I was watching Twitter. It was just the other day, and a traveling salesman kind of asked anecdotally again, hey, everybody, and he listed a whole bunch of people, how's business? Of course, everybody chimes in. Nobody was sour grapes. Yet when we had our visit out there to Michigan with all these distributors privately, you'd have guys really expressing some doubt. So FCH seems to be jamming along. In January, we just did close to record drill downs. Wasn't that about right, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of weird. You know, we have by now a lot of statistics. We've been gathering them for at least the last 7 years. So every time someone looks at something on our site, a counter goes up by 1. Every time someone searches for something, as long as it's a proper search, we register that type of search. So we can tell sort of, you know, month by month, year by year, people, you know, searching for bolts more than screws and nuts and whatever, you know, pins, things like that. In general, Januaries are sort of slowish months, a little bit like December in general for us, because we don't do seasonal adjustments. But, you know, the number of what we call a drill down, that's when someone clicks on an item, they've done a search, they click on an item to see how do they get hold of the company that's, you know, supplying this. That's a drill down to us. Drill downs are high. They're not as high as records, but they're sort of close, which is very unusual for January. And the bolts are leading the whole range of everything again. Okay.
So bolts are higher than screws. It used to be the opposite, right?
Yep. It's been for the last 6 years. It's been different. Now bolts are significantly 30% higher than all the screws put together. So it means that people are running out of bolts, or there's a problem with supply of bolts somewhere in the US. Okay, it's got to be. Yeah, maybe it relates to the problems in the, you know, we'll discuss later in the ports over in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring that up. Before I get to this story about possible agreement, at least on one component of the jam up on the West Coast ports, Kurt, does any of that square with what you're seeing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely affected some of our business, of course. I mean, we've got several suppliers over in Asia, and we've experienced quite a bit of congestion. I mean, I actually went out to California not long ago and was able to drive by that port, see it firsthand, and you'd be amazed. you look out off the coast and you just see all the ships out there just that have dropped anchor and are waiting. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
Which port was that? Was that Long Beach? Are you talking, or Oakland, or?
That was Long Beach. I lost there. Yeah. And,
and it's a pity, because think about that. If the US is resurging as a manufacturing country again, and the very thing we need, raw materials and things coming in or whatever, nuts and bolts. Hey, everything's held together with fasteners at some stage. This is stifling the very things we need to happen in this country.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, it's on the other hand, you've got when people are scrambling for bolts. I mean, then you're looking for a domestic supplier to make them quickly, and then at that point, you're kind of at their mercy. You're paying break-in charges and expedite fees, and it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and the reality of it is, as we learned on this trip, being in the Detroit area, a lot of automotive going on, it's not even an unrealistic option for some companies just because of the PPAP process.
Yeah, right.
I mean, these guys are really in a trick bag. Now, there's evidence of the slowdown all the way on the East Coast as well. We talked to several companies who claim that they weighed the costs of going all the way around and going up through the East Coast. And apparently they were not alone, because, we're not the only industry importing, obviously, but there was news very recently about the cargo truckers, and they were putting some additional fees and waiting fees and so forth because of the added congestion from the overflow from the West Coast. And so this is not going without its ripple effect all the way across all of industry. But here's possibly a glimmer of hope. This is from a recent article on Industrial Magazine's website. That's INDDIST.com, and you can search for the headline, "Agreement Made on Key Issue in Port Labor Dispute." Author of this is a gentleman, Andrew Zoll. Starts out, dock workers and port officials on the West Coast have reportedly reached a tentative agreement on a key sticking point in their negotiations over a new labor contract, resolving questions over the allocation of truck chassis at 29 ports would signal progress towards ending the contract deadlock. That was kind of a shock to me, guys. I didn't realize that truck chassis were one of the sticking points. I thought it was hourly rate and healthcare, but shows you what I know.
Right.
Jeez.
Who would have thought it?
The story goes on to say about 20,000 members of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union have been working without a contract since last summer, and the Union and Pacific Maritime Association have traded allegations over the slowdowns at key locations, including the massive Los Angeles and Long Beach docks. Will tell us something we don't know.
Yeah.
Goes on to talk that, or at least insinuate that they have brought in some federal mediators. I noticed that hasn't been getting a lot of press either, but maybe the logjam is starting to break. And of course, with in the midst of Chinese New Year, we're kind of recording this right then, maybe afterwards. But I think all of the informed opinions on this subject realize that even if the dispute was resolved today, tomorrow, we're still looking well into the third, probably the fourth quarter, until all this would get cleared out. So strap yourself in, and don't forget, FCH is a great place to find hard-to-find fastener inventory.
There you go.
You should be a salesman. Oh, that's right, you are. Sorry, I forgot.
Is that what you call me?
You sold me.
That's right. I guess that would require some persistence. How many times did I call you before you would take my call, Kurt? I wanted. Well, I respect the guy who doesn't let a salesman in on the first try. That's for sure. But the 15th, I think I earned it.
You did. You did, Eric, and I'm glad you were persistent.
Well, I am too. Now, you were mentioning that you were experiencing some effects, at least at some level, with Branam and that. What else can you tell us about what's going on at Branam? I mean, are you doing well otherwise, or what's the general picture?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a real solid 2014, and we're digging our heels in and plan on having a real good 2015. We're trying some new advertising techniques and trying to develop a better web presence, I believe. We're going to do some things to our website, and we're going to, like I told you offline, we're going to put up a banner ad with Fasteners Clearinghouse and
Never
advertise.
bad idea.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea. We're going to, jump on that and hopefully generate some business through your website as well.
Well, you do a good job of attending a lot of the industry shows. We're going to talk with Aaron Shushan and Ryan Kertis of the Young Fastener Professionals in the later segment of the podcast, and those guys are red hot on the shows. Do you attend shows that aren't right down the middle of the alley for fastener distribution? In other words, are you going to some of the related shows and trying to get some business that way too, or what's your strategy there?
I really don't. I mean, it's not because I don't want to. It's because I just don't have the time. I do try to attend the important fastener shows, obviously, and I do appreciate the young professionals that. That's a fairly new organization, from what I understand. I don't know a whole lot about them, but it sounds like a great idea. And I'm interested in learning more about it because I've got a couple of young professionals that are a part of our company here that would probably, like to participate or be a part of that Young Fastener Professionals organization.
Well, it takes people like you to encourage them, and that's if you catch hold of the interview a little later, you'll find that's exactly what they need, okay?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
That's right. That's coming up later in the podcast.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the shows and your advertising strategy, and congratulations on your 2014, you're also, now are you this year a board member or trustee on the North Coast Fastener Association? I didn't get that one, I don't think, quite straight.
Yeah, I've been a trustee now for several years. The board has grown a little bit this year. I think we added a couple of new board members. We were supposed to have a meeting recently, but due to the inclement weather, that had to be postponed. So I'm looking forward to getting together with the new board for 2015 real soon.
Inclement weather. You must have gone to school in England, did you?
I love that term.
Inclement weather. Usually the English look outside at, a blizzard or some terrible storm and they'll say, it's inclement.
Nothing wrong with a little understatement.
Right, nice, okay.
Yeah, as I recall, there were sheets of sleet coming down and the roads had like an inch of ice caked on them. And I can say that because that was supposed to be my first NCFA board meeting that I was to attend. I guess I'm vying for a trustee position possibly now that I'm in the area.
Yeah, we need to have you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, but I will tell you this, and I guess I'll take this opportunity to announce to the world that FCH, the FCH Sourcing Network, is, I guess, the newest member of North Coast Fastener Association, and we're glad to be a part of the team. Don't know how we made it, but I don't know. Maybe it's the new board, and we'll try to kick off the year with a taking a risk.
Well, we've got some exciting things planned for this year. I mean, over the last several years, the NCFA has really changed their outlook on the way we do things, and it's got a nice, fresh feel to it with some new board members, some new ideas, and we've got a lot of exciting events, coming up for this year. I'm looking forward to participating in them, and hopefully a lot of other listeners out there will help us along and join us in the fun.
All right.
Yeah, and among those events, of course, is the now famous Fastener Distributor Social. This year, that is taking place on May 14th, and that's going to, I guess, get kicked off at 3 p.m. Now, I'm not sure if they're all set to announce all the details. Normally, they have some kind of an event midday, and then we're going to be announcing in greater detail a forum session before the big event, which is the social itself. And that is happening in Independence, Ohio, right outside of Cleveland. And again, if you haven't made it, or if you are a regular attendee, don't miss this one because it proves to be just such a benefit each year, and this one will be no exception. we're looking forward to getting this forum put together. This is going to be a panel unlike anything the fastener world has ever seen. I can guarantee you that.
Will you be on that panel?
I will be moderating, and I guess I can let the cat out of the bag, build some suspense, but the honorary lifelong Texan riding shotgun here today is going to be one of the panel members, and we're going to try to take the whole panel idea and move it in a different direction, and I think people are going to embrace it. And I'll leave it at that for now, but we'll have a description coming out probably by the next episode.
Okay, I'll wait for your description, okay?
Now, I thought you were going to jump right in there, Brian, immediately point out that although we're NCFA members now, that our home association has been and will continue to be the Midwest Fastener Association, the first group to actually take a big chance on letting us in.
Right. Yeah, it took them a while. They weren't that happy about letting a pack of techo geeks like us in. Okay.
Oh, come on. we convinced them, and I think they made a good choice, and I think everybody would agree. But no, they do a great job at Midwest, and it's so good to see, Kurt, the kind of the merging, not really merging, but at least bonding of those two groups. And they've been cross-promoting and cross-attending each other's events now, and it seems to be working out really well for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and like I said, we're the NCFA. I mean, it's just been evolving, and we're just taking on new fresh ideas and things like that where, it benefits everyone. So it's really nice to see that, we can come together, and do things together, and it just makes it a lot more interesting for everyone.
Now, you may or may not be privy to any talks that are going on, but, are you aware of anybody making overtures to some of the East Coast? I know there's several of the East Coast associations, and they seem like they're entities unto themselves more than some of the other groups. And it could just be the geography. Not sure all the details with that, but anything on that front?
I know that we've reached out to other organizations and had some discussions on things we can do together, but it just seems like the Midwest has had made the most sense. And was more receptive than any of the others right now. But we can't say down the road that we're not going to have something together with other associations. That's for sure.
Okay. Might be more of the purview of the Fastener Industry Coalition, actually. Now that I think about it out loud, but very cool.
Yep. So we might see some of these Cleveland people over here in Chicago.
Chicago's a great town. Us Clevelanders love to visit Chicago.
All right, okay. Especially when the weather's nice, okay. You should be over here. You should be over here now. This is beautiful at the moment, okay? So.
Well, let's get back to Branam for a second.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of Branam Fasteners, and why would they want to get a hold of you guys, or in what situation are they supposed to think Branam's my answer?
Well, we are a full-line fastener distributor, of course. You get a hold of us, go to our website at www.branamfastening.com, and you might say our forte is weld screws. Some of you may have seen our ads in the Link magazine. Our business was started in the weld area in stud welding. Most distributors don't really know what stud welding is, but that was the base of our business when I started with the company over 20 years ago.
Wow.
And our president, Terry Delia, is a former Nelson stud welding employee, and he branched out on his own and started his own business. And when I joined him back in '94, with my fastener background, we brought it together with stud welding and fasteners, and together we've grown it to a nice sized business right now.
Something curious. Explain why most distributors, in your estimation, don't really truly understand what stud welding is all about.
In the past, because we do sell a lot of stud welding fasteners to distributors. In the past, they would send the things over just not knowing what they are. I mean, I think a lot of people have educated themselves in recent years, just because, people have shown them these, odd-looking fasteners and said, "Can you get me these?" And they say, "Well, sure." And then they call us, which is great. But there's different kinds of weldable studs. I mean, you've got your 3-ball projection studs that are like the Buckeye Fastener type studs, and we sell those, and Buckeye sells those, and a lot of other people out there make those types of studs. And you've got arc studs, which are they have an aluminum flux load in them, and they are welded with a stud welding gun and a stud welding machine. And the same with capacitor discharge stud welding, which is it's got a welding tip on it instead of the flux load, and it's a different type of machine than an arc stud welding machine. It's a capacitor discharge stud welding machine, and that's what our business was based on originally back in the 90s, and we still sell a lot of those things today. We sell a lot to distributors, and it's still a very big part of our business.
Now, when you set off in life, did you set out to sell weld studs?
Did I personally set out to sell weld studs?
Yeah.
No, it's not really what I envisioned when I was in high school.
Okay, well, since I'm not going to ask you if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Give us a thumbnail on the career path of Kurt Triptow. How did you wind up doing this?
Well, I thought I was going to be in Motley Crue, but
I guess in a way you succeeded. Look where you are right now.
Right. So how did you?
I am in a Motley Crue, but not,
yes, this is true. Some would say very motley.
Yeah. I took a warehouse job, packing boxes for a fastener company, and the
rest is history.
Yeah. The rest is true.
Okay, well, we always like to know, and it's kind of an ongoing thing. And again, referring to the feature segment coming up, I know we're going to find out how did these guys get into it too, because the Young Fastener Professionals kind of have an existential challenge ahead of them, and that is what gets people into the industry in the first place. And we never tire of hearing the stories. A lot of people, it's through the family or a family recruitment of some kind. But in a lot of cases, it's just like you said, you start off in the warehouse somewhere, and the next thing you know, 20 years, 30 years has gone by. And but you've got a talent set, a skill set that is so highly specialized. It's something of value. And again, reflecting on our trip to Michigan, some of these guys who work these warehouses, I got to take my hat off to them, because not only do they know the products, they know the applications, and that is just nothing to sneeze at. They're like walking encyclopedias.
Yeah, there's a lot of knowledge I've picked up over the years that it's hard to explain how you know these things, but it's there.
Yep, absolutely. And just like I have the sixth sense telling me that it's time to cut out, because we're going to go to a quick break. And coming up, we've got the Fastener News Report. Kurt Triptow, Branam Fastening. Appreciate you so much joining us today. We'll look forward to getting with you at an NCFA event in the near future, or before then, you never know. We have been known to run into each other at various social occasions outside of fasteners.
This is true.
Now that I'm in the area. That website again is
www.branamfastening.com.
Give them a call, folks, and we'll be right back with more Fully Threaded Radio.
All right.
Talk radio for the fastener industry. It's not really all that bad for the most part. Brian and Eric, Fully Threaded Radio.
Looking for package fasteners of all kinds? How about specials or unique parts that no one seems to carry? At Trinity Hardware Headquarters, we believe in parts done right, and our new catalogue is available online at trinityhardwarehq.com, featuring over 30,000 different types of fasteners available in package quantities, product kits, and assortments, including hundreds of hard-to-find parts, as well as the most popular inch and metric sizes. Trinity Hardware Headquarters has locations throughout the Midwest and South, and over 400,000 square feet of warehouse space with 18 million pounds of fasteners ready to fill your requirements. Our featured products include number 3 and number 7 head plough bolts, grade 5 and grade 8 carriage bolts, hook bolts, tap bolts, and nuts and washers of all kinds, plus much more. Visit our website at www.trinityhardwarehq.com or give Trinity Hardware Headquarters a call at 888-232-1010. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
How do you make the top name in packaged fasteners even better? Combine it with one of the best-known names in the fastener business. Announcing that Titan Fasteners is now a proud part of Lindstrom. For more than 50 years, the Titan name has provided distributors with experience, technical expertise, and full customer support in every package that's shipped. For fastener needs in in-plant maintenance, industrial and construction, MRO and automotive, fleet, farm, building and grounds. Available by the box, keg, or pallet. Titan means packaged fasteners, and Lindstrom means choice, flexibility, and value. And together, we now offer more than 133,000 SKUs. For value-added fastener solutions in metric or inch, turn to Lindstrom and Titan Fasteners. To learn more about Titan Fasteners, visit titanfasteners.com. Lindstrom, by any measure. To speak with a sales representative, call 1-800-789-8112.
I don't have time to look for the best price for a socket head cap screw zinc plated with a patch.
Solution Man can. Let me handle all of your secondary processes, and I'll even ship the finished product. One price, one purchase order, one invoice, and one shipment equals one solution. Visit the Solution Industries website for details at solutionind.com.
Solution Man, you're my primary source for secondary processes.
Good one.
ND Industries has been solving customers' toughest problems through innovative technologies, competitive pricing, and industry-leading service since 1955. A family-owned business, ND Industries manufactures and applies fastener locking, bonding, sealing, masking, and assembling products. Their pre-application process makes fasteners ready to use at the point of assembly, resulting in reduced labor costs, time savings, and superior quality assurance. As a fully integrated company, ND handles all aspects of operations, from formulating custom chemical compounds and coating fasteners to providing inline inspection, packaging, and delivery services. ND Industries serves the global market with 13 divisions in the continental U.S. and also facilities in Taiwan, China, and Turkey. Learn more about ND Industries at our website at www.ndindustries.com. ND Industries. Innovative technologies, competitive pricing, and industry-leading service. Contact ND today.
This is Josh Glazer with Glazer & Associates, glazerbolt.com, your full-line online source for fasteners. You're listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Got an email, Bri, from Robbie Gilchrist over at the Gilchrist Foundation. He and his wife are, of course, the proprietors of Capital Fasteners, and they have this very generous scholarship program that they've been running since 2000. Robbie wanted to remind everybody that if you're interested, or somebody you know is interested in taking advantage of their scholarship, or you want a shot at it this year, the deadline is June 1st. We've got a website for that. It's gilchristfoundation.com.
Yeah, we've talked to Robbie a few times, actually, and interviewed him, actually, too, as well. So it's worthwhile checking out. It's a very good foundation, or aimed at this industry, okay?
Absolutely. Robbie's very well known, and so get out there to gilchristfoundation.com by June 1st. Speaking of scholarships, Bri, there's a very nice picture of you and the lovely and talented Lynn Dempsey at an MWFA function in their latest newsletter. Now, was this taken at the scholarship dinner or the Christmas party?
No, this was the Christmas party.
Oh,
actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a good night for us, actually. Like everyone, and it was it's a good night for the MWFA too, because they support the Toys for Tots thing through the Marines, and it's very worthwhile. So part of it is you bring your toys along for the Toys for Tots Foundation, and then have some fun.
Yeah, it's a great event every year, and of course they jam a lot up at the end of the year. I guess the scholarship dinner's right before the holiday party, so that's why I got confused. I saw that come across my desk though, and I don't even know where it is. It's sitting here somewhere. But now, speaking of MWFA, there's a blurb on the back of that newsletter, and again, I'm going from memory, but they were saying that they're going down to the CIFA conference. This time it's happening June 21st through to the 23rd, and it's in Nashville. So, yeah, I guess they're going to hootenanny down there with CIFA.
That'll be a bit of fun, actually.
Now, for those of you looking for something a little bigger, a little more international in the way of a fastener show, Stuttgart's coming up, and that's, of course, the biggest fastener show in the world, happening March 10th through the 12th in Stuttgart, Germany. And this year, the NFDA is making their way to that show again, and I believe they're running program where any U.S. companies that are going, they're going to offer some measure of support, including free passes to the show. Now, I don't think they're going to offer any free booths or anything like that, but you can certainly reach out to the NFDA at nfda-fastener.org and get details, or contact Vicki Lester over there at NFDA. And by all means, if you're heading out there, I'm sure you'll want to connect with them.
All right. I'd like to be there, actually, but and they've got to find some slightly cheaper airfares at the moment. You'd think with the price of gas that the fares would have gone down. It hasn't really quite happened.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent observation. I hadn't really put two and two together on that, but you're right. We really haven't seen a dip in airfare, have we?
No. Well, I think the airlines are using the chance to make a bit of money, I think, which is, they've had their losses, so I guess that's what any company needs to do, but I'd just like them to be a little cheaper, that's all.
Who doesn't? Hey, everybody, we've got the Fastener News Report coming up momentarily. And just before we do that, let's say congratulations to our good buddy, and I bet you he's a NASCAR guy, Rick Finau, who has made a career switch, and he is now with a venerated Cleveland area manufacturer, Kerr Lakeside.
Oh, cool. Good. Yes, he would be a little interested in that, since one of our interviews with him, we discussed using L9 bolts and differential on his rebuild project with his Corvette.
Yep. He's always got his hands in under the hood, I should say, of something or other. And I know you guys can talk cars for hours and hours, and again, I don't know if he's necessarily a NASCAR guy, but it wouldn't surprise me. He knows a lot about the car industry, a lot about fasteners, and he's a great guy. It was all over LinkedIn, and I think he and Charlie will make beautiful music together. So congrats to you, Rick.
Yeah, that's right, from me too.
The Fastener News Report is brought to us today by Volt Industrial Plastics and Fastenal. The title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Stelfast, Trinity Hardware Headquarters, and the Lindstrom Metric family of companies. And with that, why don't we let Mike McNulty rev his engine a little bit, Bri?
Yeah. Tell us what's going on in this industry that we're in, okay?
You got it. Here's the Fastener News Report.
Thanks, Eric and Brian. This is Mike McNulty from Fastener Technology International magazine, bringing you the Fastener News Report, which is sponsored today by Volt Industrial Plastics, makers of the world's finest plastic fasteners. Here in Ohio, even though we are covered in snow, I, for one, am still basking in the glow of the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes and my day job of focusing on fasteners and compiling the Fastener News Report. In today's report, we are going to reveal 2 months of results of the Fastener Distributor Index, also known as the FDI. Also in today's broadcast, we have newsmaker headlines from Trimass, Spiral, Mid-Continent Nail, Brighton Best, Sems and Specials, the Gilchrist Scholarships, John Hassall, Field Fastener, and Fastenal. On the back page, we're going to talk about a new positive book on U.S. manufacturing from a fastener industry veteran. And finally, we're going to introduce a new feature from the Fastener Industry Coalition. We will get to all of that and the FDI numbers right after this.
Whether you need a small or large number of fasteners, there is no reason why you should have to sacrifice quality or service for that matter. Volt Industrial Plastics takes great care with each and every order to ensure you receive a quality fastener in a timely and affordable manner. Our state-of-the-art production equipment allows us to produce any quantity you request quickly and efficiently. And with same-day shipping on nearly 1 million in-stock fasteners, we carry an inventory so you don't have to. Visit us online at voltplastics.com to find out more about our quality American-made products. Volt Industrial Plastics, manufacturer of the finest plastic fasteners in the world.
For a selection of hundreds of thousands of fasteners, check out your local Fastenal store or Fastenal.com. We can stock domestic or internationally sourced product locally and keep your bin stock filled for you at no additional expense. We are a 9001-2008 certified company that's made a huge investment in quality control so you don't have to. And if you can't find it on our shelf, we can make it for you at the quantity you need at one of our many manufacturing facilities. Learn more by contacting your local Fastenal store or visiting Fastenal.com today.
I need 5,000 3/4, 10 by 9 and 3/4 grade 8 zinc yellow tap bolts right away, but they're not a standard size.
Solution Man, Ken. I carry a wide variety of sizes and I can quickly cut them to any length. See Solution Industries' website for details at solutionind.com.
Using your bare hands?
I do use a saw on smaller parts, actually.
Back to the Fastener News Report with Mike McNulty.
In this Fastener News Report, we have 2 months of FDI numbers to report, and they are down from last quarter's high of 60.1 in November. In December 2014, the FDI dipped to 56.2, and in January it retreated further to 52.3. On the bright side, these numbers are still above the 50.0 mark, which indicates that the fastener distribution sector is still growing, but at a slower rate than last fall. Fastener Distributor Index data is collected and analyzed by the FCH Sourcing Network and the National Fastener Distributors Association, and it seeks to identify demand, pricing, and outlook trends within the American fastener distribution industry. To get the story on these lower but still positive numbers, we talked to NFDA President Paul Tiffany of Copper State Bolt and Nut. Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining us on the Fastener News Report.
Thank you, Mike, and good morning.
So we've got a couple months of FDA results to discuss this time, and there's a lot of details there. What's your first reaction to these numbers?
Well, the positive thing is we're still in a growing economy, which is always nice to see, but I think they're indicative of really what we're hearing from our distributors and manufacturers. The small decline going into the holiday season, I think, is to be expected. We should start seeing a little bit of an increase, hopefully if the West Coast labor disputes don't affect it too much, should see an increase moving into the beginning of 2015. So the trending is definitely what we're hearing from our distributors. The NFDA basically covers east to west coast, really all of North America for fastener distributors. So many different markets, but the feedback is really following this number.
Yeah, in which it's like I said, it is down from last November, which was probably one of the highest numbers we ever recorded. But still, it's firmly in the positive zone and identified as a growing number. And that goes, if you look into the details of the number, and I know people who participate in the survey get a detailed chart, but the sales and employment numbers are also still growing. In fact, raw numbers was higher than it was in December, which would be expected because of holiday shutdowns and things like that.
Yeah, the nice thing is if you look at the information that's given for the last couple of years, you've seen some great growth all the way into 2014. The end of 2014 being the highest. So my feeling is that from the feedback that we're getting, we're going to see a little bit of a decrease, but throughout 2015, we're still going to see some higher growth.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you mentioned the West Coast problems with the port, and which may or may not be shut down by the time this airs, based on the fact that the two parties involved seem to kind of be taking shots at each other. Are you hearing that people are worried and they're doing, taking alternative routes to get their products in, or doing anything about this, or just going to wait and see what happens?
People are definitely worried, but the word that I'm getting is that it's let's pay attention to forecasting. Let's do what we can in advance of a possible shutdown. But in the event, it really depends on if it happens or not. But I think smart businesses are preparing an alternative plan, as well as maybe booking some of their forecasts now. But until it really happens, it's hard to see what the impact's going to be.
Yeah, maybe focusing on what you can control. And my gut take on this is if something like this happens, it'll create an uproar and it'll get resolved kind of quickly. That's what I think will happen.
Maybe some national intervention.
Yeah, but right now nobody wants to be the first one to blink or to back down, and they both think they have a higher position.
That is correct.
Also, one other thing that I noticed here was the pricing trends are reported as higher these last two months as well, which is a good sign.
It's a good sign. I'm not certain what it's going to look like in 2015 because we do have scrap prices coming down. So if I know there's a catch-up from the time that material goes down, I think oil and gas is also going to affect the price of steel. So I feel there's going to be a catch-up on the incoming prices, which inevitably is going to make it to our customers on the outbound pricing.
Now, on the inventory side, the results we have here, basically they're saying that the distributors who responded are saying their inventories are too high and that their customer inventories are too low. So is that a trend, or is that just I think this all the time?
Has that ever been a case where it's different than that?
Yeah, right.
The number did look like it increased a little bit, but again, you're coming off the holidays, and typically at the end of the year, a lot of companies try to hold off on their large purchases, which inevitably the distributor is stuck with that material. But I don't think you're ever going to talk to a supplier and a customer and have one say that they have the right amount of inventory.
Right. Always pushing it to the other guy. Well, then the final thing that we have, we always ask, or the survey asks people to give their 6-month outlook, and the results were half the respondents say that things will be higher 6 months from now, 33% say about the same, and then 17% say lower, which is probably a little bit on the higher side, that lower number. Still, we got, the majority of the people are thinking things are same or higher, but any concerns there?
No, actually, I was happy to see the 44% higher, 48% the same. There are a few industries across the U.S. and North America that are going through some difficulties. So I think where you're getting that 8% are people that are heavy into some of those industries that just aren't doing well right now. You look at what's happening in oil and gas. You look at what's happening in the aggregate industry. I think that 8% is probably falling into those industries.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think my takeaway from everything here is it's still on the growing side, still positive outlook, not as strong as before, but I think once we get going here in February and March, maybe the whole thing will get some momentum.
Absolutely. We've got the NFDA winter meeting coming up. I think this index is going to be a heavy topic to discuss.
Well, while we have you on the line, you want to give any details on that?
Sure. It's just around the corner. It's February 26th through 28th in Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
For everybody that's in cold weather, I think they're predicting anywhere from the mid-60s to 70 degrees. So definitely come on out. It's going to be a great event. We've got a little bit of everything. We've got a new core steel plant tour. We've got a couple sessions of higher education for executives, and then obviously the fun stuff and the networking that we're all able to do at these events.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely beneficial, the networking and then the other business meetings, and that sound good. And Charleston is a nice place to go to anytime, so it sounds like you got a good program put together.
We've already got almost 100 people attending, so it's going to be a good event.
All right. Well, good luck with that, and we'll look forward to talking to you next month with hopefully some firm FDI numbers once again.
Great. Mike, I appreciate it, and thank you for the time.
Paul, thanks for joining us today on the Fastener News Report. That was NFDA President Paul Tiffany of Copper State, Bolt and Nut. To participate in the FDI survey, visit www.fdisurvey.com. Next up, today's Fastener Newsmaker headlines. TriMas Corporation, based in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, has announced that it is moving part of its gasket and fastener operation from its Houston, Texas facility to a new plant in Mexico. This transition is expected to be completed over the next 12 to 18 months. For the third consecutive year, Spiral Industries in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, has received the General Motors Supplier Quality Excellence Award. GM has 2,300 North American suppliers, and Spiral was one of just 80 companies to receive the award all 3 years. Mid-Continent Nail in Brossley, Missouri, has announced plans for a $5 million expansion project and the hiring of 91 workers. The expansion includes installing a new nail-making line. Brighton Best International, with global headquarters in Taiwan, recently added Rachel Spillman and Dwayne Edmonds as new branch managers. Spillman will be the Seattle, Washington manager, and Edmonds will be the Portland, Oregon manager. In other BBI news, Brighton Best says that it has more than doubled the size of its Atlanta, Georgia distribution facility. Sems and Specials in Rockford, Illinois, has installed a new large diameter parts former and a new multi-station inspection, sorting, and packaging machine. Applications for the Gilchrist Foundation Fastener Scholarships are now available online at gilchristfoundation.com, and they will be accepted through May 30th, 2015. Robbie and Gina Gilchrist established this scholarship in 2000, and it provides aid to people engaged in or pursuing careers in the fastener industry. Fort Worth, Texas-based Novaria Group has announced the acquisition of the assets of John Hassall, a Long Island, New York provider of aircraft engine fasteners, bolts, blade locks, and other flight-critical hardware. Field Fastener in Machesney Park, Illinois, has been chosen as one of Fortune's 100 best companies to work for. Field was chosen as a people's pick of 15 great places to work in manufacturing and production. And our top Fastener Newsmaker headline is that Fastenal Company plans to spend $4.2 million to redevelop an abandoned industrial site into a fastener manufacturing facility, retaining 55 local employees and creating 97 new jobs by the year 2020. The company is seeking a property tax abatement from Indianapolis, Indiana, worth of about $260,000 to make the plan possible. Fastenal said that it will use the building to manufacture custom orders, replacement parts, and fasteners that are now being made in Thailand. Next up, we have a new news update from the Fastener Industry Coalition, delivered to you today by FIC board member Jay Minichino of BMB Fasteners.
Thanks, Mike. My name is Jay Minichino of BMB Fasteners Incorporated, located in Flanders, New Jersey. I am the current president of the Metropolitan Fastener Distributors Association and current board member of the Fastener Industry Coalition. I would like to welcome you to a new segment that covers all association news across the country. The Fastener Industry Coalition can't stress enough the value and benefit of being a member of your regional association or, on a larger level, a national association. For more information on the benefits of belonging to a fastener association, please visit our website at www.fastenercoalition.org. And now on to association news. Mid-Atlantic Fastener Distributor Association. MAFTA has partnered with Laboratory Testing and hosting an in-plant tour and luncheon on February 20th from 12 to 3:30 p.m. For more information, please visit the events section on MAFTA's website. Metropolitan Fastener Distributor Association. The MFDA is proud to announce its national corporate-level sponsorship for the Marines Toys for Tots for the second year in a row. The MFDA's next dinner meeting is the rescheduled Economic Forecast meeting featuring ITR Economics on March 19th at Moran's, New York City. For more information on these events, please visit their website at www.mfda.us. Midwest Fastener Association. On February 26th, the MWFA will hold a Class C Products and Specialty Finishes seminar. There will be a great lineup of speakers discussing many add-on products. Please mark your calendars for Fastener Tech Show and Golf Outing, June 8th through 10th. The floor plan is 95% sold out. Show management is currently looking to add exhibit space. For more information on any of these events, please visit their website at www.mwfa.net. North Coast Fastener Association. Please mark your calendars for the NCFA Distributor Social to be held on May 14th. New England Fastener Distributor Association. The NFDA will sponsor a dinner meeting on April 16th featuring an economist from ITR Economics. This meeting will be held at the Sturbridge Hotel, Sturbridge, Massachusetts. Plans are currently being finalized for their tabletop show to take place in September 2015. NFDA. The NFDA is hosting their winter meeting February 26th and 27th at the Francis Marion Hotel in Charleston, South Carolina. There will also be a Fastener Fair Stuttgart. Please contact Vicki Lester for information on hotel rooms, free passes to the expo, or if you're interested in attending a tour of the Worth facility. Southeast Fastener Association. SEFA's annual spring conference celebrating their 40th anniversary will take place in Nashville, Tennessee, April 21st through April 23rd. A tabletop show, golf outing, informative sessions, and social events will be featured. Join SEFA in the Music City for this great networking event. Conference brochure and registration materials can be found at www.thecefa.com. Membership companies should take advantage of the SEFA Scholarship Program. Application deadline is March 1st. Pac West. Pac West is hosting a March 16th dinner meeting on conflict mineral compliance, what it means to you and your customers. Pac West Spring Conference and Tabletop Show will take place in Long Beach, California, April 23rd through April 25th. More information can be found on their website or by contacting the Pac West office. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is offering educational opportunities in the form of scholarships for women employed in the fastener industry. Please visit www.fastenerwomen.com to find out more information on becoming a member and applying for these scholarships before the deadline's near. This association news was brought to you by the Fastener Industry Coalition, bringing the industry together, one fastener at a time.
Finally, let's turn to the back page to discuss a positive book on U.S. manufacturing. Joe Capello is Director of Global Marketing for Rotor Clip Company in Somerset, New Jersey, and he is writing a positive book about U.S. manufacturing, one that has a nice connection to fasteners via Rotor Clip's manufacturing of retaining rings, wave springs, and hose clamps. In a recent Rotor Clip blog post, Joe recounted his futile efforts over the years to find a positive U.S. manufacturing-related book. Every book of this type that he came across seemed to say that manufacturing in the United States is dead, and all that we can do is mark its demise with grotesque photos of rusted steel and collapsed factory walls. So a couple years ago, Joe vowed to then write a book that portrayed Rotor Clip as a U.S. manufacturing company that spanned the very era of demise depicted in the negative books, yet was not only still standing but thriving. He wanted it to be a tribute to Rotor Clip's founder, Robert Slass, and to a greater extent to the very qualities of innovation and entrepreneurship that Slass exemplified as part of the American manufacturing culture. Joe says that the book will be one of substance that also shows that work in manufacturing involves the same technology and innovation that are equated with today's popular high-tech industries. Joe is working with a group of people at Rotor Clip on this project, and the goal is to have the book available in e-book format by this summer. If you'd like to receive automatic excerpts over the next few months, send Joe an email to rcbook@rotorclip.com. I know Joe, Rotor Clip, and manufacturing, so I am looking forward to the results. This has been Mike McNulty of Fastener Technology International, bringing you the Fastener News Report. Remember to send your news, pictures, comments, corrections, or complaints to me at mcnulty@fastenertech.com.
Up next, it's the youthful duo of Aaron Shushan and Ryan Kertis. They'll be discussing the Young Fastener Professionals. It's Fully Threaded.
You probably know that Lindstrom is an industry leader in metric fasteners. And there's a good chance you know we recently expanded to provide a wide range of high-grade inch fasteners. But what you probably don't know is that Lindstrom has made a serious commitment to earn your socket business. How serious? Well, let's start with 11,000 products. Announcing Lindstrom's expanded line of socket products, including socket head cap screws, flat head socket cap screws, button head socket cap screws, socket shoulder screws, and more. Plain, plated, or patched, in a full range of inch and metric sizes. Special lengths and thread pitches available through in-house fabrication. Always packed to your specification. Lindstrom. Flexibility, choice, and value at every turn. Here for everything distributors need. To learn more about Lindstrom and our expanded line of socket products, visit LindstromSockets.com. Lindstrom, by any measure. To speak with a sales representative, call 1-800-328-2430.
ND Industries has been solving customers' toughest problems through innovative technologies, competitive pricing, and industry-leading service since 1955. A family-owned business, ND Industries manufactures and applies fastener locking, bonding, sealing, masking, and assembling products. Their pre-application process makes fasteners ready to use at the point of assembly, resulting in reduced labor costs, time savings, and superior quality assurance. As a fully integrated company, ND handles all aspects of operations, from formulating custom chemical compounds and coating fasteners to providing inline inspection, packaging, and delivery services. ND Industries serves the global market with 13 divisions in the continental U.S. and also facilities in Taiwan, China, and Turkey. Learn more about ND Industries at our website at www.ndindustries.com. ND Industries, innovative technologies, competitive pricing, and industry-leading service. Contact ND today.
Hey, this is Carmen Vertullo with the Fastener Training Institute, and this is the Fastener Training Minute. Today we're going to talk about washers. Now, washers seem to be relatively simple animals. They got no threads, they got a hole, they got an inside-outside diameter and a thickness, and if it's a lock washer, it's got some other things going on. A lot more to know about washers than you ever thought, and a lot of money to be made selling them. So come back and join us, and I'll tell you some more stuff about washers and how to find out even more. See you in a minute with the Fastener Training Minute.
Thanks, Carmen. This is John Walkman for the Fastener Training Institute. Our Fastener product training webinars continue to build an audience and loyal following. January's presentation of Understanding Fastener Materials drew over 125 participants from 19 states plus Canada and Mexico. On February 20th, Carmen Vertullo, our resident webinar guru, will present the use, misuse, and abuse of washers. Come on, we've all been guilty of this heinous crime. Please join us for Carmen's cure for this widespread threat. Then in March, we'll offer our first multi-part webinar. On 3 consecutive Fridays, we'll offer Fastener Basics. This is our most commonly requested webinar, so we're responding. Our industry has added a lot of staff in recent years. This webinar is a convenient, low-cost, and high-content presentation that will provide your team with the knowledge they need to contribute to your success. FTI will continue our very popular traditional in-person fastener product training events in 2015. Our crack team of experts will pack their bags to produce over 30 events in 10 cities this year. Please visit www.fastenertraining.org for complete class and registration details. Now back to Carmen Vertullo for our Fastener Training Minute.
Well, welcome back, and this is Carmen Vertullo with Carver Consulting and the Fastener Training Minute. We've been doing some webinars with the Fastener Training Institute, usually about the third Friday of every month. In the month of February, on the 20th, we're going to do a webinar on washers. It's called Washers, the use, misuse, and abuse of washers. So if you're in the fastener business, chances are that's one of the non-threaded accessories that you provide. And washers serve an important function. They serve to spread the load out either under the nut or the head of a screw or a bolt. They make things look nice and pretty. They make it so we can bolt softer materials together with hard and strong fasteners. But washers are often misused. We sometimes use a soft wash when we should use a hard one. Sometimes we use a lock washer when it does a no earthly good. And a lot of times we just flat out spend too much money using the wrong washer. So when we have our webinar on the 20th, Friday the 20th of February, you'll learn a lot more about those, but I want to just turn you on to a few resources if you're not familiar with them. Standard washers, dimensionally and somewhat performance, come out of a standard called ASME B18.21.1, and that's in your IFI 9th edition. Hardened washers used with structural bolts and also some other applications come from ASTM F436. That's also in your IFI 8th and 9th edition, and you should have the IFI 9th edition by now if you don't have it. And ASTM F2437 are direct tension indicating washers, and we don't really want to use the word washer. They're direct tension indicators for use in structural applications, and those are just a few of the things that we'll talk about when we have that webinar. So if you're in the business of selling washers, join us on the 20th. And if you have any questions in the meanwhile, you can reach me at our website, carverem.com, or carmenv@carverem.com. This is the Fastener Training Minute. Thanks for listening.
First, there was fire, and man said, "Fire good." Then there was the wheel, and man said, "Wheel good." With the invention of the wheel came the need for fasteners, and man loudly exclaimed, "Buckeye good." Buckeye Fasteners, providing quality products since the dawn of man. The preceding message was brought to you by Buckeye Fasteners and the Ohio Nut and Bolt Company, proud fastener show sponsors of Old Rusty Bolt Beer, official beer of the Traveling Salesman. Tell 'em Grog sent you.
This is Steve Dunham from Sasco Fasteners, the Sasco Man in Medford, Oregon, and you're listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Brian and Eric back with you on the online Fastener Party Bungalow.
Sometimes more party than others, okay?
Yes. And this time the party's going to involve some guys who, well, one of them we know is occasionally known to be seen at a party here and there. The other one is a little bit of a new guy on the show, but hopefully he'll become a regular. And Fully Threaded listeners know that we've done a lot of kind of looking over our shoulder, probably to the detriment of our focusing on the future. And
looking for the arrows.
The two aforementioned guests that we have with us now are part of an organization which is new. A lot of you might have already heard about it. It's Young Fastener Professionals. It's the brainchild of Ryan Kertis, who's a Stelfast guy out of New Jersey, and also Aaron Shushan, who's a West Coast guy with specialty sales. A lot of you know Aaron. Welcome to Fully Threaded, guys. Let's talk about all of this.
How you doing, Brian and Eric?
Doing fine, thanks.
Not too bad, man, considering the weather. Thanks for asking, Valley Boy. And you, Mr. Ryan, did you avoid the nor'easter?
We actually got out of it pretty good. It actually went a little bit north of the New Jersey region. They got hit pretty hard, I want to say, in Massachusetts. We were predicted about 3 feet, but I know at my house it was only about a foot of snow, so we got out pretty much untouched.
Yes, well, I guess out of the four of us, Aaron's laughing the hardest. So
right, yeah.
Got my sandals on.
Right here, he's wandering back from the beach with his sandals. Yeah, you're right. It's really annoying, those people over on the West Coast.
Well, aside from sun and fun and surf and so forth, what are you seeing in the fastener world out in your neck of the woods, Aaron?
I feel like it's picking up a little bit. A lot of people putting some stock in their warehouse, and I know our business has been up this year. We've been slammed with a lot of meetings, a lot of trade shows. I've noticed a lot more companies, putting the money out there to travel and market themselves.
Well, that's not a bad sign. Of course, your territory is California, Arizona, Nevada, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's been a lot of trade shows. I mean, we've had obviously the Las Vegas trade show was really big, and then there's been a lot of trade shows that are just touching on the fastener industry. They're maybe like the World of Concrete trade show, and I've noticed a lot of fastener distributors are trying to get into those shows.
Interesting. Everybody's looking for an avenue for new customers.
Yes.
Ryan, I mentioned at the top of the segment here that really the Young Fastener Professionals was a brainchild of yours. Again, we are just getting acquainted, and I've heard good things about the organization and its goals and so forth. What can you tell us about how this whole thing got started and what your objectives are?
Absolutely. Young Fastener Professionals is actually an association. We're comprised of fastener companies who are supporting the values and ideologies of young fasteners within our industry. We like to think that we're creating an inclusive community of professionals that are sharing ideas, and we're aiming to improve business practices to better them through education, collaboration, and networking amongst companies and individuals. It's basically targeted towards the under 40 demographic, but if you're an organization or a member company doesn't have those people employed at the company, they're still encouraged to become members, so we could put on different programs and initiatives to share with the entire industry.
I could think of at least 5 companies right off the top of my head. Nobody's under 60.
Yeah, I can think of one you're talking to that might be the one's under 40, okay?
We actually have a number of companies. Right now we're about 20 states we have covered with member companies. And there's a handful of them that, believe it or not, they don't have anyone under 40, but, they reached out to us and they were like, listen, we still want to be a part of this because, maybe in 5 years, we're looking to hire some people or we're looking to have new ideas in here. And, they're buying into this now and, helping us, off the ground to get to the point where it could benefit them.
Sure. I guess it's fair game because of the nature of your organization, but both Aaron and Ryan, why don't you let us know what is your age and how long have you been in the industry?
I'll go first. I just turned 30 in December, and I've been in the industry for about 7 years now. Most of it was with Porteous in New Jersey as an account manager and then branch manager. And now I'm at Stelfast. I've been here for, I think, 3 years, and I'm the pricing manager over here.
Sounds like you're on a roll to never get out.
Yeah, right.
What about you, Aaron?
So I'm 28 years old. I turned 29 in July. I guess I've been in the fastener industry for about 5 years, 3 with specialty sales currently, and then the other 2 at a local military distributor.
Interesting. So you fall right in the target demographic, and you're just leading the way. And I'm guessing that both of you have a little bit of a tech bent, and that's going to only add to the industry overall because, let's face it, that's the direction we continuously talk about that here in the show. And Brian, actually, we're kind of going to have to start looking over our shoulders. We're going to get outclassed one of these days.
Yeah, some would say we're quite quickly, actually.
Ryan, you were telling us before we really got the ball rolling here about a survey that you're working on, and you're getting incredible success with this, and even though you just started, and you're doing so using social media, I guess that speaks to the point I just made.
Yes, absolutely. So right now we're in the gathering phases. We're gathering data from all industry personnel to discover basically overall employee satisfaction and what it takes to not only attract employees, but keep them employed within the fastener industry. We're encouraging everyone of any age to participate in this case study to make sure that we're providing the most accurate data to everyone. So what it's entitled is How to Attract and Retain Millennial Employees Within the Fastener Industry. Many people may not know what a millennial is, but it's basically the age bracket between 18 to 35, typically born, in 1980s to 2000s. And by 2025, it's anticipating that 75% of the global workforce will be comprised of millennial employees, including the fastener industry. So a survey such as this is, I think, integral to the progression and the advancement of our industry.
Yes, we would say that's really, really important. The subject has been debated very fiercely because there's many companies are involved in trying to find out what does it really take to make the millennials feel part of organizations, particularly bigger companies, okay? And read articles in Wall Street Journal and the Chicago Tribune dealing with this very thing. What does it really take? And it's actually already clear it's a little different for what it used to take to encourage people to stay in companies for 40 years in the past, okay?
Ryan, what would you say is the defining attribute of a millennial in terms of their overall outlook on work and participation in a company that's ongoing? I mean, I think a lot of people, at least people who are maybe outside of your main target demographic, are a little leery of millennials. I think they have a reputation of, I don't know what's a good way of saying it. Let's say it this way. They expect to move around a lot in their careers. And I think in the fastener world, you'd like to have people that are going to learn the business and stick with you if you're going to put a lot of investment into a given employee. And I mean, how does that all square up with how you read it?
I think that millennials are hardworking. We're motivated. We're hungry. We want to succeed, and we want to do what it takes to basically be the best in what we're doing. I mean, right out of college, I remember, I had the mentality of, I want a job. I will move anywhere for the job that I want in, the field that I got a degree in. I'll go anywhere. I'll do whatever I have to do. Put me anywhere and I'm going to succeed. So I think millennials, they do get a bad rap, but at the same time, I think there's some sort of misconception about the mentality, and I feel like millennials are loyal. Where as long as how do I put it? I feel like this survey is going to provide business owners and even HR departments on what it's going to take to keep an employee happy, satisfied, where they can work for the company for 40 years.
Okay, well, if you do get those results, then you'll have achieved something pretty important, actually.
You got anything to add to that, Aaron?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in and say one of the other projects that we were doing is the 30 Under 30 Awards, where we highlighted 30 people from the industry. And right after we did that, a couple of the people who were awarded had left their respected role at their company. So it was a perfect segue into, how to retain these types of people.
Interesting. Do you have any preconceptions on that, or are you searching for answers?
I mean, it's more than money that these people are looking for. I mean, money is a big part of it, but that's basically what this survey is going to tell us, because it's more than money. It's more than, awards.
Got it.
Adding on to that, this past year in Vegas at the National Fastener Show, I was having dinner with people, and they were asking me, as a young person, what can I do? A lot of companies are, bringing in people out of school. They're spending their money to train them. They're doing everything that they can, and they're just being used as a resume builder to the next job that maybe has more flexibility or more responsibilities or higher pay. And everyone's trying to figure out what are we doing wrong? How can we keep them here? It's almost like changing the culture of your company to, to adapt to the changes that are happening in the workplace with millennials coming in such strong numbers.
Well, this is going to be an ongoing mission of the Young Fastener Professionals. I can definitely tell you that. Sounds like a pretty good goal to have. What types of events are you planning? I mean, how aside from the survey and appearing at some of the trade shows and so forth, what are you going to do with the organization?
Well, for one, the survey is actually going to materialize at this year's National Industrial Fastener and Mill Supply Expo. We're actually going to be presenting our findings to the fastener industry. And although the presentation entitled How to Attract and Retain Millennial Employees in the Fastener Industry, it's going to focus on the millennial, the 18 to 35-year-old age. But we're also going to have a physical case study depicting findings from all age ranges and by region. So that's one of the events that we are going to be doing this year, aside from 30 Under 30, which we're also going to be doing again this year with the Fastener Industry Coalition.
Okay. So this is like the day before the general show, isn't it?
It is. I think we're going to be getting our own room, and we'll be setting up a time and a date to host it.
Okay. Cool. So closer to the time, then we can make people aware that this is going to go on. Okay.
All the details, once they become public, will be available on our website, and I'm sure, you'll see it on Twitter from us and, whoever's retweeting, and it'll be around and it'll be known, and I'm sure we're going to try to pack the house and try to get as many people in there as possible to us.
Yeah, Brian will probably pick up right away in all those retweets.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, we do have to deal with some of the people who may not be quite into the Twitter world, okay, who could also be very interested in these results, okay?
Brian, if you go to our website, there's a spot where you can put in your email address, and we will send you a bi-monthly or every few months we send out a newsletter.
That sounds like much better for me, okay?
And let's point out at this moment, since we're discussing the website, that you can find the Young Professionals website at www.youngfastenerprofessionals.com. Did you come up with that domain name yourself, Aaron?
No, I did not.
And notice the S is really important in this one too, okay?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you might want to take a page out of our book, guys, and also, while you're still young, get the domain youngfastenerprofessional.com, just for the hell of it.
I'm buying it right now.
Guess we don't have to convince you of that one. To see our obvious wisdom, one generation to another.
Right.
So what are you going to do when you turn 40? I mean, you're just going to give all this up, Brian, or what?
I think it's going to turn into 40 Under 40, and it's going to be another organization.
Okay.
Got it.
So I'm meant to be starting at like the 60 under 70. Oh no, or 50 under 40. I don't think I'll do that.
Well, there's certainly no end to the possible combinations you could come up with, Brian, and that's exactly the kind of thing we do here on Fully Threaded. But for the sake of keeping this one as informative as possible and less of a bourbon room bash kind of a subject.
Well, I thought that the bourbon room bashes was exactly how we'd attract Aaron. I mean, I still remember his wandering around the floor the morning after. Okay?
Oh, man.
We can't let this pass this up, okay?
Yeah, I was wandering around clueless. But I did get a shirt from you guys. That was
our pleasure. And you guys represent us well out there on the West Coast.
Yeah.
It sounds like Young Professionals is doing a great job of representing the millennial generation in the fastener industry, and we're looking forward to you guys putting a few of the pieces of that riddle together, or that puzzle together. So, Ryan, you're with Stelfast out there in New Jersey, and how do people get a hold of you, or do they do so through the Young Fastener Professionals website? What's the best way?
The best way to get in contact with me, I know this is right to my phone, actually. It's at youngfastenerprofessionals@gmail.com. Any emails that are sent there go directly to my phone. Aaron and Brian Wheeler and Melissa Patel also on the board of directors of Young Fastener Professionals have access to that email as well.
Outstanding. And I'm glad that you mentioned the fellow board members that you have. Are there any associations or sponsors of note that you'd like to mention at this point, or is it such a long list that we can't do a proper job of it?
No. I could actually, we actually have, there's two levels of membership for Young Fastener Professionals. It's gold members and platinum members. The platinum members are the ones that are, Aaron, what would you say?
The platinum members we're looking for corporate sponsorships, large companies to sign up, get their entire company involved. It's $1,000. And then with that, you get promotion of your company at every event that we do. Your logo is on every document that we release. And then we also have a gold membership, which is for smaller companies or individuals who want to join. That's what I did personally. It's $250, and it gets you access to all the events that we host and anything that we give out as well. You can join on our website.
Yeah, our current platinum members are Stelfast, McLean Spas Component and Solutions, Industrial Threaded Products out of New York, and Torrance Fasteners for our 4 platinum members. And then we have a multitude of actual gold members, like I said earlier, that are spread throughout the United States.
Well, it sounds like you guys are off to an amazing start, and we appreciate you joining us on the podcast, and we hope that you'll keep us up to date. I'm sure we're going to be knocking into you, or as the case might be, stumbling into you here and there throughout various industry events. And but no,
you guys are never going to let me live that down, are you?
In all seriousness, it's great to have you, and we're very excited about this, and we're going to support you as you proceed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having us on there, and don't forget to get to our website and take the survey.
Yes, thank you. By the way, the survey could actually be found on our website, youngfastenerprofessionals.com, and on the header, it's going to say survey, and it's going to be right there. 2 minutes, and you're done with the survey.
Okay.
Get out there, everybody, right after you're done with the Fastener Distributor Index.
Yeah. You're going to take the survey.
Once again, Aaron Shushan of Specialty Sales, Ryan Kertis of Stelfast, and both of Young Fastener Professionals.
They're keeping us old guys on their toes.
Thanks for that, Bri. We'll be right back with more Fully Threaded Radio.
These guys aren't screwing around much. Brian and Eric, Fully Threaded Radio, Internet Talk Radio for the fastener industry.
Harry, how's your search for new software going?
We've looked at a lot of systems, some with the same old technology, and others didn't seem like they knew much about what we did or needed. We did look at one company, crazy name though, I think it was InSQL.
You mean INXSQL? That's InSQL. That's what we use. We've become much more efficient, and we've been able to offer our customers more services, which makes us more competitive.
Yeah, Inkswell, that's the one. They seem to be the only company that really understood what fastener distributors do for a living, and I found it easy to use.
Harry, it's InSQL, INXSQL. You don't pronounce the X. We buy a lot from several master distributors, and their direct connect simplifies the whole process. When we need pricing and availability quickly, we just hit the F12 key.
If you don't pronounce the X, why put it in there? A friend told me they get great support from NXQL.
Yes, with InSQL, our experience has been the same. Quality support. They know our business. And the best part is, no extra charges. With our old system, apparently nothing we called about was covered by support.
You know, Inkwell seems to be the right company for us.
They're called InSQL, INXSQL. Go to their website, www.inxsql.com, or call them at 877-446-9775.
Ah, Iowa. Field of dreams, Hawkeyes, corn, the only state that starts with 2 vowels, and the home of Trinity Hardware Headquarters. What's so special about Trinity Hardware Headquarters? How about the fact that offering 30,000 types of fasteners just wasn't enough variety? So they've added new lines of packaged clamps, rib neck carriage bolts, and plow bolts. And who doesn't need new plow bolts after this winter? Trinity Hardware Headquarters also has over 600 cushioned clamps made in the USA by KMC, 18 sizes of ribbed neck carriage bolts, and over 40 sizes of plow bolt kits. And that's just the new stuff. They're still stocking their 400,000 square foot warehouse top to bottom with screws, nuts, bolts, washers, fittings, just about any fastener you could possibly need. And you can order 24/7 online from trinityhardwarehq.com or call 888-232-1010 anytime. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
When top quality and outstanding service are at the top of your list in fastener suppliers, turn to Stelfast. Since 1976, Stelfast has grown to become an industry-leading importer and manufacturer of the highest quality industrial fasteners, specialty items, and automotive parts. Our array of facilities across North America and in Asia, along with full quality control labs and ISO 9001-2008 certifications, ensure the highest quality parts, and at Stelfast, they're delivered with undisputed service excellence. We're family run and dedicated to your success. Our customers have come to depend on the expertise of our staff and the quality of our products. We also offer a wide range of secondary services to meet some of the toughest requirements you might have. Contact Stelfast today through our website at www.stelfast.com and put us to work for you. Stelfast. Service you deserve, people you trust.
This is Pam Berry with Advanced Components. You're listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Brian and Eric back with you. I, of course, am broadcasting from the FTR East studios, and this time Brian had been recording from FTR West, but now you're actually FTR Deep South, aren't you?
and very, very, very far west. That's true, actually. Like 10 time zones left.
That's right, folks. Whenever you hear the kookaburra coming in at the end of the liner, you know he's way down south. And so, Brian, on your voyage down, you're down in the various areas around Sydney, Australia, and where in New Zealand, tromping around for a few weeks. And on your way down there, did you get to see any of the Super Bowl? Did you even know what this whole thing with this Ron Swanson commercial was about, or what?
I didn't get to see the commercial. I did get to see the part of the Super Bowl because they were showing it on a big screen in the departure lounge at Dallas when I was. And I got to see, I got to see right through to the halfway part, actually.
Man, you've been gone a long time.
I
hope you come back soon, man.
Right, actually I'm in Sydney and this afternoon head to New Zealand. So, yeah, no kookaburras in New Zealand, okay? But they're here in the background now, actually. So, it's good. Yeah, I got to see a few of the ads. In between looking at flights and wandering around and trying to work out how to buy duty free and crap like that, but it's good. I can't say the result is exactly as I wanted it. We didn't even know till we got to Sydney and they announced what the results were, when we arrived here.
Well, this was interesting watching football with this crew that I was with because nobody cared who won, We're right in the middle of the country and nobody cared about New England or Seattle, and so it was a fun game to watch because it was an exciting game, and the commercials were pretty good by and large, but, there wasn't a lot of emotion. I don't think anybody had any serious money riding on it, so it was just kind of a food fest and laughing at the commercials.
Right, yeah. I think I wanted the Seahawks to win. Not quite sure why, but that's what I wanted. Didn't work, okay. However, it was a very good game in that clearly the teams are really evenly matched. That's what makes for great viewing. Okay, so it was just set up to be a good game.
That's right. And NBC was, I think, doing their best to stimulate the football fans who probably are going into major hangover phase and try and convert them into hardcore NASCAR fans.
Right,
I think slowly but surely, it appeals to a similar kind of a crowd, and there will be some crossover. And hopefully they'll be able to build their audience.
Yeah.
And appreciate all of you being in the audience today, ladies and gentlemen. And we also appreciate our guests on today's show. We kicked off the show with Kurt Triptow of Branam Fasteners. He was riding shotgun with us. We also spoke with Ryan Kertis of Stelfast and Aaron Shushan of Specialty Sales. Good luck on the Young Fastener Professionals, guys. We'll keep everyone apprised as best we can.
Yep.
And, of course, Mike McNulty with the Fastener News Report. Mike was joined by Paul Tiffany. Finally, Carmen Vertullo had the Fastener Training Minute today. Another very informative episode. Get out to the Fastener Training Institute website, everybody, for the latest, and we'll see you in class. The title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Stelfast. Stelfast, for service you deserve and people you trust. It's Stelfast. Trinity Hardware Headquarters. Trinity, for parts done right. Lindstrom Metric and the Lindstrom family of companies. Lindstrom, by any measure. Fully Threaded is also sponsored by Buckeye Fasteners, InSequel Software, ND Industries, Fastenal, Volt Industrial Plastics, The Worth Group, and Solution Industries, home of Solution Man. Hey everybody, get with us anytime at the email address ftr@fullythreaded.com, or you can check us out on Twitter. Occasionally we post out there. The handle is Fully Threaded. Well, Bright, sounds like you're gearing up to head across the water again and headed over to the Twin Islands. Are you going to be driving anything good while you're over there?
Oh, no. I'm been driving on the wrong side of the road in the US for so long that I'm not comfortable in the way that the Empire and God really wanted people to drive. So I'm gonna leave that to someone else. Okay.
I never thought I'd hear the day. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not comfortable on the original side of the road. Okay. I've spent too much time in the United States and Europe.
Well, times have changed.
Yeah, I know.
Well, regardless of that fact, I think it's high time we took a pit stop for this one, Bri.
Yeah, I think so too. And just make sure you're careful pulling into that pit stop, okay?
That's right. Change the oil, check the tires, and get back out there on the road, which we will be doing with you next time, everybody. And until then, we appreciate you joining us.
Right. And I look forward to catching up with you next time, okay, when we're back.
For Brian Musker, this is Eric Dudas. Get out there, sell some screws, and we'll talk to you next time.
Right.
Fully Threaded Radio is a production of Fastener's Clearinghouse. Music provided by Audionautics.